Hello, Flosstube. Welcome to Flosstube number 68. I have all my notes down here, so I'll be looking at them periodically. I have a lot to share with you today. I worked on like 16 projects, I think, a couple of finishes, and then my plans I have, I'm going to do Arbitrary August, so I have a whole bunch of stuff to show you for that. So we're just going to get right into it because I have a lot to do. So welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if this is your first time. On my Flosstube, you will find, or on my YouTube channel, you will find both cross-stitch videos, which are called Flosstube, and then I do card making, so you'll find those too, and those are usually Facebook Live videos, so you'll find both of those on my channel. So welcome. All right, I had two finishes. We were up I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we were up in Northwest Arkansas dog sitting for our son and daughter-in-law. And they just like to cuddle, so I ended up spending a lot of time on the couch with the pups and stitching. So I got a lot of stitches done, more stitches done in a month than I usually do. This is part of this series. Let me grab the book real quick. These 12 monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. So this is April that I finished, and I have May. I finished June, and February, I think. I don't remember now, I'd have to look, but this is April that I finished. And I did not get it fully finished. This is on Heartland, I believe, 32 count Heartland. So that was one finish. And then the other finish is from Hands On Design. This is Ladybug Picnic, and this is on the Called For Pomegranate by hand dyed by Stephanie. It's 32 count, and there it's a really pretty fabric, and there is that one. So I'll probably fully finish it like it shows on the front. She did it on a little round. That's probably what I'll do. I did buy that little pin so I can use it. All right, those are my finishes. All right. Next, let's talk about WIPGO. So I have gotten way behind on WIPGO. And so I had two boards. I had a board of Fancy Ladies and a board of Full Coverage. And so I've kind of done a mashup and just put both projects on each square, and then I can decide for the month, do I want to do a Fancy Lady in that square or a Full Coverage? Because there's too many other things I want to do, and I'm just not going to get caught up. And that way I can still participate in WIPGO, but I won't feel so stressed about. And I did not write down any of my Full Coverage numbers or percentages, so I'm sorry about that. This one, it was a WIPGO call for July. It's Riverwalk Charm, and I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I started this one on November 6th of 2021. And I'm sorry I don't have my tablet here right by me to even look. But this is where we are on this one. So I've got a good chunk on this one done. I mean, there's a lot still to go. And I've just been working. I was doing Royal Road. I started out doing diagonal, then I went anywhere I wanted, then I did Royal Rose, and now I'm going back to diagonal. That seems to be my preferred method of stitching, is diagonal. So I'm kind of converting this one back to diagonal. And I did 522 stitches on that one this month. For my WIPGO calls, I do 500 stitches or 5 hours. All right. And I'm probably gonna have to pause in the middle of this when I get ready to do plans, because I have so much stuff around me. All right, and then I was catching up on another Full Coverage. This was a June call, and this is Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies. And I am probably close to 90% done on this. I wish I'd remembered to write down those numbers, so I'm sorry. If you want to know them, just comment and I can add it. But this is where we are. And so all that's left is this little bit at the bottom and then the rest of this. So it's so pretty. Let me pull off this one side because there is some under there that you can't see. Because there's that pretty butterfly under there. There, now you can see the whole thing. So pretty. All right, so that was a catch-up whip go call from June. I am putting these back in the bags, but I've tried to undo all the zippers ahead of time. And then the fancy lady I worked on for July was Fairy Autumn Glow. It's this one, Nora Corbett. And I did everything that is on my Arbitrary August list. I tried to put project cards in. So this one is on a 32 count beach walk by Witchelt. And I started it August 11th, 2021. And this month I put in 585 stitches. So that's where it is. That skirt's getting close. All right. That is all the whip go pieces I did. So next, let's do temperature stitching. I did often in the past for temperature stitching, I have done 5 projects and given them each 2 number. If you're not familiar with temperature stitching, it basically just chooses a project for you based on the last digit of the temperature. This, in July, I pulled 10 projects. I did my normal 5 that I had, and I had pulled those as ones that a little bit smaller. I might actually be able to get them finished if I kept, working on them a little bit at a time. But then I also pulled 5 Christmas projects for Christmas in July. And I think, yeah, all of them got called at least once. So the first one is Silent Night. This is a Mill Hill kit, and it is close. I did 296 stitches. Some of that is back stitch, which 2 back stitch counts as 1. This is on a 32 count pickled by Picture This Plus. And so all I have left is the filling in the beads and the letters. And then in these little squares, there's some, they called it like 5, I don't know, it's like a bunch of beads all on top of each other. So one more good session on that and it will probably be finished. All right, and then Festive Forest. This was a Jingle Ball class from last year. Let me pull out the cover sheet. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. And I am doing mine on 32 count Valor by Picture This Plus. And I put in 678 stitches. So this is what the whole thing looks like so far. And I was working in this tree here. So I did this little chipmunk and the rest of this tree and this little, I think it's a female cardinal because there's a male cardinal over on this next one. So I think I told you 678 stitches on that one. Now when we talk about plans and I go through my Arbitrary August, I'm not going to re-show the ones I'm showing you as a part of all of this. All right, next one is Dressmaker's Daughter. This is one I would like to have finished by next fall in case I get to go to the Shepherd's Bush retreat. I would like to take it to Jill Rensel to have her frame it. Not something I can do with very many, but I would like to do it with this one. Let me take this Q-snap off too. So I'm working on spring. And I did 378 stitches. And then summer is done. And then I had been working on autumn. It's probably half done, maybe. And then I still have to do winter. But I haven't done, like summer that's done, I haven't done the beads on it. Excuse me. And this is on, let me find my card, 32 count milk chocolate, which is the called for. And it is a stiff, it's a very stiff linen. It's not my favorite to work on. Okay, that doesn't want to go back in there very nicely. We'll fix it later. Oop, I better put the card in there though. All right, next in temperature stitching is Seasons of the Heart. I've been working on the summer one, so the spring one is finished. This is by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. So you have spring and summer, and then autumn and winter. So like I said, I have the spring one done. And this, I think it's on Vintage Country Mocha. Yes, 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I started this summer one on April 19th of this year. And here is where we are. I did 1,198 stitches. Yeah, that fabric's a little warmer. When I push it in close, it blows out. It doesn't show it as warm as it is. So that was one of the ones I worked on when we were dog sitting. All right, next temperature piece. Ladybug Picnic was a part of my temperature stitching, but I finished that, so I showed you that one already. Spring Alphabet Garden. This is, whoa, things are falling. This is from a Jeanette Douglas class that I took at my LNS this spring. So this is everything we got. So we got the materials to make these 4 projects. This is the Alphabet Garden that I'm working on. And it is on 36 count Valley Forge by Needle and Flax. And I don't usually work on 36 count, but that was what they gave us for the class. So that's what I'm doing. And we're just doing 1 thread. All my 32 count is 2 threads over 2. All right, let me pull off one end of this too, so you can see the very edge of it. And I did 431 stitches on this one. So I was working on this flower here. And they gave us a big drum that we could finish this on. So my hope is that I can figure out, because there's going to be 4 of these. I have this summer one. It came out, I think, at Market this spring, this past spring. So I'm hoping I can figure out how to put them on there so I can exchange, change them out. We'll see if I can figure that out. All right, the next one for temperature stitching is Woodland Winter. This is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is on 32 count Twilight from Picture This Plus. And I'll have to put a picture in of what the whole thing will look like. This was a mystery stitch along. And this is where I am. So I've been working on this bottom part, and this is the bottom of it. And then there's another section at the top I still need to do. But that fabric is just so beautiful. Those colors show up nicely on it. And I did 467 stitches on that one in July. All right. The next temperature stitching is Santa's House. I'm sure you've probably seen this one before. A lot of people have been working on this one. This is the first in a series from Cottage Garden Sampling. I'm trying to find there it is, cover, so I can show you what it's going to look like. So that's what it will look like. I'm doing mine on 32 count Vintage Stormy Night from Witchelt. And I did 238 stitches. So my temperature stitching, I do about 100 stitches per day that it's called. So if it's got 200 roughly, then it got called twice. Okay, that's showing up more modeled than it really is in person. It's so pretty, and there are a couple of overdyed, the gray and then the dark red are overdyed, and the rest of it's DMC. Okay. 2 more temperature stitches. Well, I'm going to have a mess to clean up when I'm done. Christmas Robin. This was a historical sampler stitch along from last year. I think it was last year. Let's see. When did I start it? That will tell me. Yeah. November of 24. That doesn't seem right, but okay. And this is on the 32 count sage green. This may have been what was in their advent box last year. I went with the advent box last year. And this is where I am. So I did 216 stitches on this one. And so I've been working in this square over here. And I signed up for the advent box for this year. So that will be fun. I probably won't have the Christmas one, the Christmas Robin one done before then. All right. And then the last one, it was on my temperature stitching, but it's also one that I've just been working on as a outside of temperature stitching. So this is the Extraordinary Bird Stitch Along from Lola Crow, and I'll have to put a picture in of what it's going to look like. Let me take off this one side. Guess I need to take off the top one too. So I did not, she gave us like 6 weeks to get the frame done, I think. And that was like 6,000 stitches, and I didn't get it all done, but I got a good start on it. And I am behind several weeks now. This is the whole thing. So I'm working over here in this shoe bill. And somebody had posted, there's a Facebook group, Lola Crow Facebook group, and they had posted some video of this shoe bill. Those things are scary looking. So that's where I am. So there's like 3 parts, and another one's coming out today. So I'm 4 parts behind now, but that's okay. This is the best I've kept up with any of her stitch alongs I've done, because I think I've joined them all. I just love them. But I've been trying to keep up a little better on this one. And that's kind of why I'm changing up my whip go a little bit, because I want to be able to work on things like this. Okay. And then just some other whips I worked on. Wait, maybe there's just one. No, there's 2 more, and then we'll get into the plans. Is that right? 2 or 3 more. Something like that. This is, I think this is Woman in a Field of Flowers. Yes. So this is by, charted by Stitches So Beautiful. The artist is Eder Jose Rosa. Uh-oh. My needle is sticking through. So this I was doing, sorry, my needle's kind of poking through over here. I want to make sure I don't lose it. There we go. I think we need to move that a little bit. So pretty much every month, I haven't seen one for this month, which is okay because I have other things I need to be working on, but they have a challenge. And if you complete at least 250 stitches every week on one of their patterns and post it on Facebook, then they'll send you a free pattern that's not available for sale yet. So I can't remember if I said, but I'll put a picture in of what this is going to look like. And I did 1,173 stitches. So I'm doing this one in diagonal. So you can start seeing some of those flowers and plants coming in, which is fun. It gets very confetti heavy down there. But so that's been fun, and I've worked on this one every time I've done a challenge with them. So that's how I've gotten some work done on it. But I haven't seen one for August, so maybe I'll be off the hook for August and can concentrate on some other things. All right, one more. This is another stitch along. This is the Heaven and Earth stitch along. I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I did, let me find it, 2,392 stitches on this one. And this is on a 28 count, easy grid, easy count, 1/1 full cross. It always looks so much better on camera. You can see it. You can see the different elements better for some reason. And obviously I'm working on the diagonal on this one. But I have to get 6 pages done by the end of the year in order to get all of the other stitch along charts that they had, which is my goal. Okay, one more and then I'll pause and get my plans. Excuse me. I had one new start. This is Honey, Bees, and Stitching Please by Primrose Cottage. And this is one that I started when we were up dog sitting. And I did 1,113 stitches on this. And this is on a Bee Stitch Me. I'm in their Fabric of the Month Club 32 count Grog Lugana. And this is where I am. There's a fun one. It goes pretty quick. All right. That's everything I worked on. So let me pause, kind of get this stuff cleared out and bring my plans in, and then I'll show you what I'm going to work on for Arbitrary August. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I forgot one project. Sorry, I should have gotten some water while I was up. That I also worked on in July, just a couple of days. I did 433 stitches on this one. So this was another one I worked on in July. I forgot to show you. And this is on a 32 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. And this is where I am on that one. So I was working on these flowers and these stars and this bow. All right. Now that's everything I worked on. So now we'll get into my plans. I am doing something called Arbitrary August. Got my list. And so this is something that's in the Whip Warriors group. That's a closed group right now. They'll open it up, I think in November is when they usually open it up. And they have all sorts of different things they do, games, whatever, during the year. But this one looked like fun, so I wanted to try it. So hopefully I have everything. Oh, I forgot to unzip them all. So I will try and unzip them before I pull them out of the box, so maybe it won't be so loud. But I'm just gonna go through these again. The ones I stitched on this month that are on this list, I'm not gonna re-show them. So that's like the first few. And what they do, I guess I should explain it. So you pick out 31 prompts, and I picked out 31 whips. You can pick out 6 whips and put them on there 5-ish times. You can pick out different prompts like stitch in blue or stitch on a fancy lady or whatever. But I picked out 31 whips. And so some of these I don't think I've worked on this year at all. And I put a lot of Halloween stuff in here. There's a couple of new starts, a few new starts in here. So I'm just gonna go through them in 1 through 31, and then obviously the ones I showed you already, we won't look at again. So number 1 was Dressmaker's Daughter. We already saw that. Number 2, Spring Alphabet Garden. We've already seen that. Number 3, Seasons of the Heart Summer. We've seen that. Number 4 is Oops-a-Daisy. This is from Hands On Design. I don't think I have a cover sheet. This was something that she gave out to everyone that did the spring fling and got her class. And this is on 32 count, I don't know, BCD 32DNL7. I've got to get my LNS to give me a key for all these cryptic things they give me. But this is where I'll be starting with this one. So for this Arbitrary August, I'm going to do 200 stitches on each project. So for temperature stitching, I did 100. So I'm hoping I can sneak in 200 on each of these. We will see. All right, number 5 is Extraordinary Birds. Number 6 is the Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along that drinks on the beach. Number 7 is Woman in a Field of Flowers, so I am going to work on that once. Number 8 is Betsy's Halloween Basket. So this is what this one will look like when it's finished. And I'm doing this on, oh, I didn't write it on my sheet. What is it? 32 count, whoa, I have a needle minder on here. 32 count, 18th century blackboard. I'm not sure who that's by, but here is where I'll be starting on that one. So 200 stitches won't get that one finished. I have a really fun needle minder on here, but it's very heavy. I think I just got that at my L&S. All right. Again, I'm gonna put these all back in here, so I already have enough of a mess to clean up. All right, number 9 is Lollies, Crows, and Lollipops. This is by Brenda Gervais, hands on, or with a needle. That's what that one will look like. I'm doing this on 32 count light mocha from Witchelt. Oh, got a hanging thread. So I got all the little things done. Now I have to do the big jack-o'-lantern. So I think that's all that's left is filling him in. Oh, there's a frame around the whole thing. And I had to look it up because I was like, there's no crows on this. These little black, those are crows. That's another kind of candy I'd never heard of. Who knew? All right. Then number 11. Uh-oh, where is it? Is missing. Nope. Okay, well maybe we'll find it. Because I know what bag it's in. And I don't see it. Well, number 11 is going to be Autumn Alphabet from Lizzie Kate. And I have a very small start on that. I think I just have the M done and that's it. And maybe it will show up. Because it's in a bag that I made. So it's kind of a small bag. Okay. Number 12. Uh-oh, where is it? Oh, here's Autumn Alphabet. It's in a different bag. Things got out of order. I tried to put them all in order. Here it is. All right, so this is number 11. Autumn Alphabet, Lizzie Kate. I have all the others stitched, but this one, yeah. This is my pitiful start. And this is on, I don't know, let's see, 32 count clay from Witchelt. Yeah, I spent some time yesterday trying to make project cards for every project. And I use the ones, they're from 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. I just bought them off of Etsy and just print them in. And it has more to it. I just do that front side. All right, Checkered Halloween. That's this one. Yep. This is by M Designs. I've had this one for a long time. And these Halloween ones, you know, I'll work on them 200 stitches for this Arbitrary August, but some of these Halloween ones will come back out in September, October, and hopefully get finished. So this is on 28 count straw gingham. So that's where I am on that one. So yeah, 200 stitches. Will not finish that one, but it will come out again. All right. Number 13 is Woodland Winter, so we've seen that one already. 14 is Christmas Robin, we've seen that. We have a bunch of Christmas ones here in a row. 15 is Santa's House. 16 is Silent Night. 17 is Festive Forest. 18 is the mini monthlies, and I've already put that away, but I showed you the April one I had finished, so now I'll start on probably May. Where did that one? Oh, I missed 10. That's why they seemed out of order. They weren't out of order. I was out of order. Number 10 is Halloween and Cross Stitch. This is by Corey Betakuri. I don't know how to say her name. This one is on 32 count antique lace, hand dyed by Stephanie. And this is a big one. So it's gonna be pretty big. But I've just been working on this half. But it's a fun one. I'm enjoying it. Okay, that's why everything seemed out of order, because I skipped that one. Sorry about that. Okay. That was number 10. I've got to put all the ones I already showed you back in there too, so I'll redo all my order. Okay, now we're ready for the other box. So number 19, I'll have to put a picture in of it because I don't even have, I have floss. This is a burst sampler I'm going to do for my granddaughter, but I haven't picked fabric yet. And it's off of Etsy, so I'll put a picture of what it's going to look like. So that is number 19. Number 20 is this shepherd's bush stocking from my daughter-in-law. So I've got some of the pearl cotton. I need to get the rest. 21 is another historical sampler society stitch along. So I'll have to put a picture in of what it's going to look like when it's done. And I just signed up for the one this year. I have no business doing that, but it looks so cute. I couldn't resist. So this is where this one is. Yeah, hopefully I can, what I may do, either in September or October, to go back to temperature stitching and just put 5 Halloween ones in and work on them two numbers. All right, that was 21. 22 is Fairy Autumn Glow. 23 is Psyche's Butterflies, the full coverage that I'm the closest to being done on. 24 is Butterfly Cloche. This is Hello from Liz Matthews. This is what this will look like. I love butterflies. This was a birthday start. I'll have to look at my card and see. So this is on 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus, and it's a birthday start from last year, so May of last year. And I think it goes this way based on the way my needle minder is oriented. So I didn't get too much done, so I'll be glad to work on it again. All right. 25 is Honeybees, that new start I had that I already showed you. 26 is going to be another new start. This is Farm Tier from Erin Elizabeth. I haven't done any of hers yet, but I want to put this up. We've got a sunroom that we've turned into a playroom for the kids. So this is 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. That's what I'm going to do it on. And then I have the threads pulled. So it is ready whenever it gets called. All right, 27, we're getting there. Whoops. Is Mini Monthly Quakers. So I need to look. This is the one that was called for today. Oh, good. This is the one I'll be working on. So I have September in progress, so that's the one I'll work on. I was like, I hope I don't have to start a new one and try and figure out if I have the floss or not. And I didn't iron any of these, as you can tell. So this is where I am on that one. So this one I'll be putting 200 stitches into it today. So I'm going to set it aside so I don't. All right, 28. Oh, I didn't bring that one down. I'll have to grab it. Is Square Dance. This is Heart and Hand. Yeah, Heart and Hand. And it's a whole collection. Sorry, there's glare of these. One for every month. And I am doing them all on one long piece of fabric. Let's see if it says what it is. Yep, Vintage Country Mocha. So this is where I am total. And I'll be working on, I think it's, oh. Let me do it this way. Yeah, July. And this one, she was very careful not to do anything American. So July is not a patriotic one, it's fish. November is not Thanksgiving. It's just like, I think it's like pineapples. October is owls. So I know a lot of, especially like our Canadian friends, it's hard for them if they've got, you know, July is patriotic and November is Thanksgiving, because that doesn't follow their calendar. Whoop, missed one. All right, that was number 28. Number 29 is Bord de Mer. It's French. I don't know if that's how you say it, but this is by Madame Lefay. This is what this one will look like. And I'm doing this one on 32 count Misty Rain by Lakeside. And I started it in August of 2019. This is where I will be starting from. So I've got a good start on it. That coral, that's where I've been working on lately. It takes a lot of counting, but it's really pretty. All right, that was 29. All right, I'm gonna have to pause and get 30 because it stays in a totally different place in my house. So one moment, I'll be back. Okay, back. Number 30 is this Paris Mandala from Chatelaine. And, oh, I didn't bring down the card for it. I started this years and years ago. So let's see. This is the only one I have on a scroll frame. So it's kind of hard to show. So I've got this side, those parts, there's more around it still. And then the center, you roll it up a little bit. The center is pretty much done. And then I've been working over here on this building. But there are 3 more Eiffel Towers, and I think that's why I don't pick this one up. I mean, Chatelaine, if you've not done them, they are challenging. They're very challenging, and it's, I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. I ordered the kit from European Cross Stitch. Like I said, I started this years ago. So I have all the beads and all the silks and everything that is needed for it. So I will finish it one day. When I decide to make it a focus, I think what I'll do is just buckle down and get those other 3 Eiffel Towers done, because they are mostly backstitch. Unroll that a little bit. So there's not a lot of cross stitch in there. It's mostly backstitch. So that makes it challenging, even more challenging. So I think if I just go ahead and knock those out, then I will be more likely to pick it up and work on it. All right, that was number 30. The last one is Nature's Journey. This is out of just cross stitch. So the first two parts are out. This is spring. This is by Sprouting Lupine. So you can kind of see the whole thing. So we have spring, and then we have summer is out, and then these will be in the next two issues of the magazine. So this is the just cross stitch. And I am doing this on 32 count vellum from Picture This Plus. And this is where I am. I love my little Luna moth. I got that off of Etsy. I think it's Ginger Stitch AU. Isn't that fun? It's really a fun, I would like to work on it more. There are too many projects. So I'm really excited about this Arbitrary August because I'll get to work on some of these projects that I haven't worked on in a long time. And I think I already told you, yeah, the one for today, the call for today was that September Quaker I'll be working on. Okay, just some haul. I did forget to show you one fully finished thing. It's cross stitch related. So I did make this little, I did decorate this little jewelry box. This one I got at Hobby Lobby, this small one. So I just covered in fabric. And this is my travel one. It's a little bit smaller, so it travels with me when I go to Stitch Days. And then I'm going to attempt, we'll see, to make some bags. I'm going to use Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So I'm going to try and make one. This will be the accent at the top. This will be the main fabric, and then this will be the lining. And then I got a zipper. So we'll see. I've got enough to make a couple of bags of that, and then I bought some more fabric today. I went to the quilt shop to get 2 zippers, and I came home with, I don't know, 3 yards of fabric, of course. All right, and then my haul. You've probably seen other people collecting these. This is the Year in the Woods 2 Cottage Garden Samplings. So this is the second one, Sugar Glider. He is adorable. I haven't done any of the first years, but this is from Heart and Hand. Sunny Day, reminds me of home. I grew up in Kansas, so sunflowers are big there. And then I just love, this is Crochet-a-Go-Go maybe, I'm not sure. But she's got several animals, and this is just adorable. Look at that walrus. Isn't that cute? And then Fruit Salad Quaker from Primrose Cottage. I just saw a new one that was bees, like their garden series or something I'll have to get. And then I love Mirabilia, so I pretty much buy everything that comes out from her. This is Portrait of Lady M. Uh-oh, my ring light just went out. That's all right, we're almost done. This was her, was it 20th anniversary? It was an anniversary piece. And then a couple of Nora Corbett's. Miss Starling and Miss White Owl. And the Nora Corbett's, it's the same designer as Mirabilia, but they're usually a little smaller. And then this was a at my LNS, this is the Blue Flower and Mary Mistletoe. They had these done up. They were really cute. They're big. You can't really tell from this so much, but they're big. I think this is, yeah. And so I have been eyeing this one for a long time, the Blue Flower, in Praise of Pollinators. And I picked up Witchell's Vintage Stormy Night to do it on. And then Stitchy Spot, this is October House Fiber Arts. And then I got This is the first two. I had the other two they held for me at the LNS, and I'm like, well, I don't have the first two, but this is a travel series from Jeanette Douglas, so this is number 1, Trip and Voyage. It's a hot air balloon. And number 2, Wander and Wonder. And then I have 3 and 4, but I didn't bring them up. And then I am not going to be doing all the animal crackers, but this one I really liked, and I thought he would look so cute in my dough bowl or my tier tray in the wintertime. This is Chili the penguin, so I am going to try and do him and his little snowman. All right, last thing, this is the new Plum Street Tropic Troop, and I've already seen somebody that's got a bunch of it done, the 2 penguins and the flowers up here, and it looks so cute. So that is it. We made it. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. This I forgot to mention, but it is August 1st, so hopefully I can get this edited and up today so you can see it. And if you have any questions, just comment and I will get back to you. Thanks. Bye.